So my name's Tasha. I was born and raised in London. I moved to Israel when I was in my mid-20s.
My name is Aryeh. It means lion in Hebrew. I'm 40 years old. I've been here in Israel for 34 years.
Well, I'm talking now to the international society. Hello.
What we do is we take holistic treatments to the reservist soldiers around the northern parts of Israel.
Меня зовут Давид. Мне 23 года. Я из Санкт-Петербурга.
My name is Omer. And I run this Haifa Hostel, which I opened March 2020, 1 week before COVID started.
I just felt a deep calling that this is where I was supposed to be.
My parents were born here, so I'm a local and I love Israel.
I love Israel for a very simple reason. Israel is home. And when I say Israel is home, I don't just mean Israel is the place that I'm from or my family's from or that I have history in. It's all that.
I love Russian government, really. Smart guys there, you know. But I don't want to die, no more.
And it hasn't been the best, it hasn't been the easiest of journeys because it's not the easiest place to live, but the quality of life here to me was exactly what I wanted to be a part of.
Приняли меня хорошо. Очень хорошо. Потому что это моя вторая родина, я еврей.
If I walked around, if I walked to a different, or I went to a different city, it wasn't home. Here in Israel, it doesn't matter where I am. I could be up north, I could be down south, I could be in a place that I've never visited before, and it still feels like home.
Open-minded travelers, not necessarily the ones that go for the obvious destinations in Israel. It's like Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Dead Sea. So people that come and say, oh, wow, there's another city there. It's next to the beach. People don't talk about it so much. Maybe we'll go check it out, Haifa.
Meaning if I took a tent and I traveled 3 hours to either direction and I just put the tent there, it would still feel like home. That's something special.
Some of them just move on, and some of them like it and discover it, like I did.
И многие другие компании стали уходить директора из больших компаний, такие как Тинькофф банк, Олег Юрьевич Тинькофф ушел, и начались проблемы с работой. Это была первая причина, почему я решил уехать из России, потому что стало трудно зарабатывать деньги. В Израиле это сделать легче.
Israel is a peaceful country. It's not just something that I'm saying to try to convince you. You could see it.
Здесь очень хорошие люди. Здесь хорошие люди не только евреи, здесь много хороших арабов.
Even though you have soldiers in the streets and, you know, they have guns because they have to have guns. Nobody has guns because they want it, because they think it's fun to carry around. It's in fact not so fun. It's annoying to have all the time.
And then we had 2 years of COVID, so there were no tourists. They were not allowed to come in. And then we had a year and something of tourism, and then we had a war.
War, by definition, is a terrible thing.
Because hundreds of thousands of reservists, over 300,000 reservists got up, grabbed a gun and went into service from October 7th. And so the whole country was in chaos.
Because war is a piece of shit.
You don't want any war.
Lebanon, Syria, Palestine. It's a piece of shit for the just people. No more. You understand what I mean?
But I said on October 6th, there was peace. There was quiet. I don't want to say peace. It was quiet. It wasn't fully, peaceful.
Yeah.
But it was quiet, and it could have, on October 7th, also been quiet. And on October 8th, it also could have been quiet. But on October 7th, we were brutally attacked in the worst attack ever.
Nothing like October 7th has ever happened to our nation or to our country. Certainly not since the Holocaust. And the level of shock and despair we were all in, and trying to find out where our friends were, where our family were, where this is a very small country. It's the size of New Jersey. So everybody knows multiple people in the army at the same time.
So October 7 was a terrible and traumatic effect on all Israelis. It was very, very sad, and it's really a trauma to all the people what happened there.
It was chaos the first few weeks. It was chaos. Our men didn't have enough food. They didn't have mattresses. There was there was roads in the north lined with tents on the side of the road, and I was watching our soldiers suddenly taking showers under fire hydrants at gas stations. It was pure chaos.
Because in October 7, Israel didn't attack back or didn't help the people for 7 hours or 8 hours and didn't fight back. So I think they were abandoned. They were not supposed to be kidnapped.
Hezbollah, right now we're in Lebanon, but we only went in 2 months ago after a year of getting rocket fire. And prior to that, of course, for many years they were shooting, but I'm saying there was an intensified firing since October 7th.
Я в этой стране себя чувствую в максимальной безопасности, даже тогда, когда летают ракеты со стороны Ливана на территорию государства Израиль.
There's more chance of being hit by a car here than being hit by a missile. Especially if you don't live in the penthouse. You know, if you live in the penthouse, maybe more chance that you will get hit by a missile.
People say, oh, we should do a ceasefire, do this, do that. Yeah, but they're still holding our hostages. So if they had released our hostages, it would have been a ceasefire, it would have been peace. There would be less destruction, there would be less death.
I think, of course, we want them back, but I think this is not the reason there is a war. I think they were kidnapped to have an excuse for a war.
Some people are evacuated, and the people that are in the village next to them, 500 meters from them, are not evacuated. And they cannot pay for the... Why? Because it's arbitrary. They passed the line and they said everybody underneath this line are not evacuated.
I also don't understand why they had to evacuate people from the north and from the south. And we never did something like that before. And we have to stay in the places that are Israelis.
If you are evacuee or you are a reservist in the army, you get benefits, you get support, and you are still not happy.
But a bigger answer to that is the news likes to do what's popular for the news, right? And right now the trend, unfortunately, is anti-Israel.
But if you're not in one of these two groups, nobody cares about you, the media don't talk about you, you're too small, you don't have a story, and they will tell you, you didn't lose your home, or you're not serving in the army, so you have no reason to complain. Well, actually, I'm alive.
Simple to say Israel strong, and the Palestinians poor people. Israel's not strong. Israel's a tiny, find us on the map. It's very hard to find us on the map. We're a tiny little country in the middle of a huge Middle East, and then almost everybody in the Middle East wants to kill us. That's pretty scary.
The war is too long, and there is not a reason or a point that is from Israel to fight and fight without understanding what is going on.
Здесь в этом плане, в этой стране очень хорошо. Здесь ты никогда не останешься на улице. Ты всегда можешь обратиться в хостел. Если у тебя негде жить, в общем, ты можешь стать волонтером.
The hotels in Israel are the ones that made the most money they ever did in their lives during the war.
И работать волонтером, в общем, и жить бесплатно.
Government is paying more than what tourists would have paid, and they are not giving the full services that they would have given. So the people that have hotels, like this one just over there across the street from us, bling bling, they made a lot of money, but the small businesses, the small hospitality businesses, did not have a license to take evacuees. The government gave permission only to the big hotels to take evacuees. So the big hotels got the evacuees, and they got the money from the government.
I feel like it's more about selling guns and selling.
I think it makes people become criminals because they start stealing from the government, stealing from the taxes, stealing from their neighbors, stealing from their tenants, not stealing, but they say, fuck it. You need to pay rent, pay me the rent, because nobody cares about me, so why should I care about you? And this makes the people separate.
Someone is putting money from both sides, so there will be all the time war, and I think that the people from both sides, they want peace.
We just want to live in peace. We want to be left alone. And by the way, if there was peace right now, Israelis would be traveling to Lebanon, they'd be traveling to Iran, to all these different countries, because Israelis love to travel, and we would get along great. But you need to have both sides wanting that. It doesn't help that one side wants peace and one side wants to kill you.
Notice when someone's not having a good day or going through a bad period, and we all help to work together to raise them back up. What we do on base days is the most phenomenal, uplifting feeling you could ever experience. But it is also very hard. You witness a lot of trauma. You hear a lot of what's happened.
The Israeli people are post-traumatic. As a people, not only being Jewish, also the ones that live in Israel. You are raised from home being post-traumatic. Your parents are post-traumatic, your grandparents are post-traumatic. My parents immigrated, my grandparents immigrated, my great-grandparents immigrated. So you are always running away from something, and there's a reason why you are migrating, and there's
There's a group of reserve police soldiers, and they go by Magav in Israel. And a lot of them are Druze. And they have not had more than 1 week off. They don't get more than a few days at a time for over a year now. So their families are suffering. To see so many soldiers have lost their businesses, see so many soldiers developing the beginnings of PTSD. But perhaps the hardest part is when we lose our soldiers. I've lost quite a few men that we've worked with this year since we went into Lebanon, because I only take care of the north. Not long ago, there's a unit that I had been working with since October last year, maybe November. And there was an incident where 3 of them were severely injured. One of them may never get a chance to walk again. And a 4th gentleman was killed, a 28-year-old gentleman called Sagi.
Войны, если интересно, то они за этим стараются не следить. У меня есть друзья, которые, к сожалению, и погибли на войне. Не друзья, а знакомые. Царство небесное всем павшим воинам. Есть и знакомые, которые ранены.
It seems like there is no light in the tunnel. You don't see what the reason for this war.
We have one particular soldier who lost his son. He was serving reserve duty in the north, and his son was in the south, in Gaza. And whilst they were on an arranged phone call, his son was shot by snipers. And just seeing this pure broken father not giving up on serving his country, seeing people, soldiers who live abroad now, who have flown back and just abandoned their lives to serve their country.
We have zero interest in any sort of conflict with them. But what can I say? They think about us a lot. I guess I don't know what we are.
Quite a few soldiers have come to me over the year and said, the fact that a lot of your volunteers are older and are mothers is so important. Because we need touch, we need love, and we need a hug. Because everybody's broken.
Now we are here. It's great. Best decision of my life.
But I want to build a future here, not just for myself, not just for the volunteers, not just for the soldiers, but for the future generations of our children.
So we can always try to improve, and I want to improve the relations with the countries around us, with the peoples around us. But it has to be mutual. Again, it has to come from both sides.
Почему так? Почему нельзя нормально, спокойно жить?
I want to open a clinic where any reservist who has served in this war will be able to come and get heavily subsidized treatments, including everything we currently provide: nutrition classes, social workers, psychologists, psychiatrists, trauma classes, all sorts of things, and create a hub for them as well.
And we've been dealing with this for some time now. We've been brought up into this. And now the rest of the world is waking up into this. They forgot what happened 100 years ago.
Поэтому я хочу сказать, что, пожалуйста, давайте жить дружно. Просто нормально, дружно жить.
Not in a good or bad way, not in a racist way, just a straightforward way to say, we have a situation here, there's a cultural clash, we need to deal with it, and we need to take care of ourselves.
Потому что все можно решить словами. Можно приезжать в гости. Ты из Гонконга, оператор из Тайваня. Вы можете приезжать в гости в Россию. Я могу приехать как россиянин, да, там, в Гонконг, в Тайвань, неважно, в Китай. И нет никакой войны. Все очень просто и хорошо.
I hope the people of Taiwan look at this and say, Israel is a place that I would like to visit. I want to meet the people there. I want to talk to the people there. Being supportive of Israel, by the way, doesn't mean that you're anti-Arab or anti-Palestinian. You could also support Israel and also support Palestine. Such a shocking concept.
Let me help you, because if you don't get the right help, you have a high risk of not making it.
Come see for yourselves. It's interesting, you see the sun is shining, about 25 degrees. I'm just wearing this because I'm lazy to take it off.
I hope that they come here. You could support Israel, you could support Palestine, you could love Arabs, you could love Muslim culture. That's fine, it's all around us. And that's what I want them to take away from this.
And then what chance have our future generations got? I want to save the future generations as much as I do these guys.
Sun is shining, it's a beautiful sunset. And yeah, come see for yourselves. And you're welcome to stay in the hostel. We have plenty of empty beds.
You're welcome. Come to Jerusalem. I'm from Jerusalem.
Yeah.
It's a holy place for a lot of religious.
So yeah, I have really big plans. I don't know how it's going to happen, but there's so many people who believe in what I believe in, and I feel that I was given this task for a reason, because I don't take no for an answer.
Да, давайте жить дружно. Будем любить друг друга.
And enjoy traveling as long as you can.
Видите и будьте здоровы. Bye.